Today in the pedal vault, the KMA Audio Machine's Chief Disruptor.
The Chief Disruptor is made by KMA Audio Machines, and if you haven't heard of them, they are a small German pedal manufacturer that I really adore. They make some awesome pedals, and I hope this is an awesome pedal as well. It comes in the standard sizing of the KMA Audio Machines pedals. It has a nice gold painting and this artwork. Now when it comes to artwork with KMA Audio Machines, either they are gorgeous and I really like them, or they are just not my style, and sadly this is not my style. I think it's cool and I can totally imagine that a lot of you guys really dig the artwork. I simply don't, but that's okay. Although it's bonus points because it's including the Greek letter pi here, so that's cool. Apart from that, this pedal is packed full of stuff. We have two switches, one to engage the pedal and another one to engage the mid control. Then we have a big gain control, level control. We have a 3-band EQ, lows, highs, mids. The mid frequency is adjustable. Then we have an additional top boost that we can activate. Then we have a blend control, and we can even select where we want to add the blend. If you want to add it pre, that means before the EQ section, or if you want to add it after the EQ section. And we have a voicing switch that lets us choose between 3 different voicings. We have the tight, that's modern and more focused with tight lows and crisp top end according to the manual. Then we have VTG, which means vintage. It's classy, dynamic with low to mid gain sounds. And we have heavy, that's full blast with massive low end and plenty of thick sustaining gain. As with nearly all KMA pedals, we have some internal trim pots that I won't touch because I think they're mostly dialed into my taste and I don't need to fiddle around with them. However, one of them lets you play around with the Q of the mid frequency, and the other one lets you set the amount of top boost distortion. And last but not least, we have an expression switch here where you can connect an expression pedal that lets you sweep through the mid frequencies. So this means that you can basically use it for a wah kind effect. Okay, now let's head to the curves. I've set master to full, gain to 0 and no clean blend. We're currently at the vintage setting. Blend is pre, top boost off, everything else to new. Let's activate. So we have a huge bump around the 400 Hz, high cut, low cut, it's okay. First of all, let's turn on the clean this. It's here, and when we select post, it shifts. So it has some kind of boost function here as well. Okay, don't need blend. Low seems to be centered around the 170 to 200 Hz region. It's active, so we can boost it or cut it. It centers around the mids. Really cool. High. Seems to be a shelf. Starting at 1.8. Maybe a bit lower. Now, mid frequency. Let's turn it all the way back. Nothing happening here. And now let's engage the mids, but nothing is happening because we haven't activated them. So You have a nice small Q at 150. So, okay, that's good. And it goes up to 2.4. Centered around 800. Okay, and we can even cut. So let's do this. Okay. Deactivate the mids, activate the chirp boost. Seems to be adding some kind of shelf starting at 1.3, 1.4. Okay. Now some gain makes the signal broader. That's okay. So for now we leave the gain at max and see how the different settings are affecting the sound, if we add more compression or whatever, because gain we can't tell obviously. So heavy emphasizes the bass at 130 and tight, almost like a tilt EQ, adds a bit of boost in the 2K and up, and reduces the bass. The tilt seems to be centered around 750 or 800. Okay, so now let's find out how this thing actually sounds. In the live review part, I want to play around with the blend control, with the clean blend. And I opted for a slightly different sound. My signal chain is quite simple. Guitar into Chief Disruptor into XFX, and there I chose something new. As for an amp, I chose the, it's called a Fryette D60 More. It's based on a Fryette or VHT Deliverance. And this is a really dry amp with lots of gain actually, but I dialed it quite back. I even dialed back the bass because I think the Chief Disruptor has enough bass. And I want to find out how the Chief Disruptor handles the amp, or vice versa, however you want to call it. This goes directly into a Jens Bogren Greasy Beard IR. So here is my clean sound. Could actually increase the volume. Okay, so let's set everything here on mid. Okay, so first of all, let's activate the Chief Disruptor and dial in a really nice sound. Well, it retains the tightness of the Fryette amp sim. I don't know if I like it, but it's definitely a unique tone. And the Chief Disruptor adds huge amounts of dirt and grittiness to it. And now I want to find out how the clean knob actually behaves. So let's dial in a good amount of clean signal back. And we first of all, let's switch to post. So first things first, the Fryette isn't made for the Chief Disruptor. Well, I didn't like the tone, actually, but now I know how the clean blend works, and I can give you a proper verdict.
To make things short, I really like the Chief Disruptor. It gives me a huge sound both in front of a clean amp as well as in front of the driven amp, and in front of the preamp, or basically into the FX return. I didn't like it much, as well as in front of a Fryette amp, but in front of a 5150 or in a clean amp, awesome. The options you get with this pedal are enormous. You can basically choose 3 different gain options. I highly prefer the tight setting, although I know where to use the vintage and the heavy setting. And the master's cool. The adjustable mid boost and cut is awesome. I really like it. I already loved it in the KMA Logan because, well, you have the possibility to dial in a huge chainsaw tone. And every pedal that can do chainsaw is a good pedal, I think. The blend control is also cool. I really like that you get to choose if you wanna blend in the input signal clean or pre-EQ or post-EQ. That means you can have different options. I think that on some pedals, or most pedals, have it post EQ section, which is totally cool. I prefer it this way, and but the option to have it pre EQ is really cool. So what else do we got? The top boost function, awesome, gives us a really sharp attack, and I really like it. The adjustable mids, or that you can actually activate or deactivate the mids, it's really cool as well, because so you basically can have two sounds with one pedal, or maybe if you're using the expression jack, you can have one lead sound and one sound with your wah, or for wah-like effect. Although I haven't tried this yet, because I really love my own wah. But I should do actually, because the Logan has it. Maybe I'll do a video about it. So yeah, this pedal is really cool, and sadly, I wasn't sure if I buy it or if I send it back. I have to buy it. Let's be honest here. So anyways, what do you think about the Chief Disruptor? What amp do you use it with? Because apparently not all amps work equally well. Leave a comment down below in the comment section. And if you want to support this channel, check out the links in the description. And with this said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my Instagram. I actually teased this pedal there. May the force be with you and have a nice day.